Welcome to the Living a Nordic Life podcast, where we explore a simpler, cosier and more intentional life the Nordic way. I'm Fiona McKenna, your Nordic living guide and founder of Living a Nordic Life, where I share all things Nordic living and show you that a Nordic life is the way to bring intentional calm and healthy habits into your own life, wherever you are in the world. Are you looking for ways to bring simplicity, coziness and calm into your life? Well, let me show you how. Visit the Living a Nordic Life website to explore how I can help you on your journey to simple, healthy and happy calm, the Nordic way. You can subscribe to the podcast right here. And if you want regular inspirational emails sent with love from Norway and straight to your inbox, don't forget to subscribe to the Living a Nordic Life newsletters. And so now let's dive into our episode. Let's talk about Christmas traditions. It's a really nice thing to talk about, isn't it? And especially Nordic Christmas traditions, because that's kind of the thing that you visualise when you think of a very traditional Christmas. But I want to talk to you today about the Christmas traditions that my family and friends here in Norway, who are Norwegian, really like, and the things that we have created for ourselves, actually. Some of them are bigger than us and some of them are particular to our family and friend groups, but they're also things that you could maybe have a go at yourself. There are some traditions that we embrace as a culture or a nation, and there are others that we have in smaller groups, like family traditions or friend traditions, or something that is particular to your village or your town, or maybe just the region. Something that everybody else looks at and thinks, oh, that's, feels odd. But for you, it feels lovely, doesn't it? Cosy. Makes you feel nice and cosy and safe inside. And all of these are really important for our identities, either as a nation or in our own little family group. Christmas especially is a time for many countries in Europe and beyond where traditions really matter. They're important. They go back such a long time. In fact, a lot of them here go back way beyond Christianity. I have to say, before Christmas, when it was Yule, which was the kind of pagan festival. And these things have kind of been amalgamated into the Christianity aspect of Christmas, which is what it's about. But, it's two cultures combining. It's really exciting. But it feels important to be doing the same things that our parents, our grandparents, our great-grandparents and further back did. And especially if they moved. So that's probably even more important for those of you with Nordic heritage, for example, who don't live in Norway and whose parents or grandparents or great-grandparents emigrated. For them, it was really important to keep tight hold of those traditions. It reminded them of home. And it also reminds us of our roots. In my family, we have the benefit of two cultures, because I'm English and Andre, my husband, is Norwegian. So our kids are both. Although we live in Norway, we try to make sure that we combine both. And we usually have Christmas here because it feels very Christmassy. But we try to combine both cultures so that the kids feel that they are both Norwegian and English, and we think that that's important. But it is fun to do that because it creates a family culture that embraces both traditions, or maybe more if you have more. I mean, my family, the McKenna side of it, goes back to Scotland and Ireland, but that's a long time ago. But we do kind of follow some Scottish traditions. We have Burns Night, for example. We don't really do Hogmanay, but I mean, New Year is a kind of, is a celebration anyway, isn't it? And particularly in England and Scotland, Ireland, Wales. But yeah, we try to combine both cultures, the English and Norwegian where possible. But of course, living in Norway means that we often choose Nordic traditions. That's a natural thing. And like I said, Christmas does feel Christmassy here. We have snow. You've got the dark pine forest. It's a little bit darker, actually quite a lot darker. At the moment, we don't have an awful lot of daylight, I have to say, a few hours a day. That's okay. Come inside, you light some candles, you get the fire going. It all feels really cosy. And of course, we have reindeer. We don't have reindeer near me, I have to say, but they are around. But I want to invite you for a peek into my life in Norway at Christmas and the traditions that my family and Norwegian friends enjoy at Christmas. I'm sure some of them are listening as well, so I'm including you. Gingerbread making. Everybody does this. Everybody. I've never seen it before I came here. It's a really big thing at Christmas. Of course, gingerbread is a big thing here. Pepperkaker. It's there's not so much ginger in it, I have to say. It's quite a lot of pepper, which is why it's called pepperkaker, and things that you would consider Christmas spices, like cinnamon, cardamom, nutmeg, things like that. You know what I'm talking about, allspice. Things that always remind you of Christmas. And a gingerbread making workshop is something that you will find at Christmas markets. And it's organised by local community events, but also families do it as well. And it's not properly Christmas until we have had a gingerbread making workshop. Everybody feels like that. It might sound very industrious and like everything's terribly well organised. Like we're going to be churning out a lot of gingerbread, you know, and packaging it up in cellophane and making it all look beautiful. A bit like Santa's elves. But the reality is a little bit different. And especially when there are a bunch of kids amongst us. It can become a little bit chaotic. It wasn't this year, it was very well organised actually. But that is thanks to my friend Shira and her husband Vega, who hosted it. It was just lovely. Shira had done everything, it was just perfect. And she'd put out all the Christmas decorations. Everything was beautifully laid out. She'd set a table with the decorations for the gingerbread dough, all the little cutters to cut out. She'd made hot chocolate, which was really decadent. It had cream and massive marshmallows on it in really whimsical mugs, and glögg, and lots of really delicious cakes. It was a really, really nice time. And the little ones were given a chance to roll out gingerbread, and we cooked it. And then when it was cold, they were able to decorate it. It was really nice. It always gets a bit messy, doesn't it? But it was a few hours of a really relaxed afternoon, surrounded by Christmas decorations and lovely friends. It wasn't just Shira, it was also our friend Veronica and her husband Per and our kids, who are in the same class together. So they're friends, and it was great. And there was no pressure. But it's a really nice way to start the holiday season. And that's something that you could do anywhere. Certainly if we weren't living here in Norway, that's something that I would do anyway. Because it feels Christmassy, it smells Christmassy, you've got those lovely Christmas spices cooking. The kids get to do something fun. And it's relaxed, and it doesn't matter if it doesn't go well. Who cares? You know, you're not starting a cookie shop. You know, just decorate it, throw some Smarties on it or something, or some chocolates and some sprinkles. It's okay, it's fun. Christmas party. That's another thing we like doing actually. Although I have to say we haven't done it for the last couple of years because things have kind of taken over in different ways and it hasn't always gone to plan, and we won't be doing it this year either. But usually it's my family's job to host it. And it's really fun to have an informal gathering with some simple snacks, delicious drinks. We don't usually drink alcohol, I have to say, at these things. It's usually non-alcoholic because everybody has to drive. And here in Norway, there is zero tolerance on drink driving. So you can't have anything. And the police are out at this time of year, of course, breathalyzing everybody in the politest possible way, I have to say. They are never rude. I'm sorry for stopping you. Would you just mind? And it's not unpleasant. Well, I mean, I guess it would be if you had been drinking, but we don't. So there you go. But it's nice with some gentle chatter and some companionship and everybody to get together. And our family is not small. There's easily 25 of us. So, you know, these things are nice. Everybody can chat and talk and it's informal. My sister-in-law, Benta, and her husband usually host the big event on Christmas Day. And Christmas Day is a bit like you would have Boxing Day in the UK. Our big event takes place on Christmas Eve. So Christmas Day is a chance for everybody to get together. A few hours of just kind of breathing out. And Benta hosts it at her house and it's beautiful. With a really lovely buffet. And it's very relaxed and really nice to get together. But the Christmas party that we have usually is kind of middle of December, and it gives us a chance to contribute a bit, to take the pressure off, for everybody to get together and kind of build up to Christmas. Christmas markets. Oh my goodness, I love them. I love them. It wasn't so easy when we lived in England, actually, to go to Christmas markets. We would, if we had a road trip, we did one year where we stopped at as many Christmas markets as we possibly could. We stopped at Essen, Flensburg, this is in Germany, on the way down from Norway to the UK for Christmas. And it was really fun. I mean, the Christmas markets in Germany are something special. But here in Norway, there are Christmas markets in every town and village, and they're not some huge, big, fancy thing, like you'd expect Dresden to be, or Berlin, but they really are lovely. They usually start at the end of November, and I like to go to as many as I possibly can. It gets a little bit much after a bit, you've been to like 4 or 5. Sometimes you do several in a day if they're close together. But not only do they fill us with festive cheer, but it's a chance to buy locally made gifts. And often really beautiful things like handmade gloves. There's a lot of knitwear for sale at these things. Handmade gloves, scarves, hats, homemade cakes, homemade bread, honey, and really, really lovely decor that you're not going to find anywhere else, and you're probably not going to see twice either. Norwegians are really good at appreciating craftsmanship. That probably dates way back to the Vikings. The Vikings loved really amazing craftsmanship, didn't they? They brought back to the Nordics, they brought back really beautiful things, beautiful silks, and they appreciated carved wood items and gold. You'd be surprised they were really quite discerning. And this has carried on. It's a cultural thing. So you pay a little bit more for some of these things because somebody has sat there and they've made that. It doesn't take a couple of hours to knit a sweater or even a pair of gloves. And if you see anybody knitting a pair of gloves, they knit them with 4 knitting needles. It's amazing. Whenever I see people doing that, it's quite often in funny places as well, like the doctor's surgery. They'll be sitting in the waiting room knitting. But it takes a lot of effort and a lot of skill. And when you see that, you realise that actually the price you're paying is really not very much. So it might be, $40, $50 for a pair of gloves. Handmade knitted woolen gloves in a traditional design as well. It's just an example. But, that's actually, not bad really, considering the amount of hours that have gone into these things. And it's a lovely opportunity to do that. These artisanal products are not cheap to make, and you have all the work that goes into them, but there's something really special because they're unique and you're never going to find anything else like it. And that's what we love about the Christmas markets. And we try to go to as many as we possibly can, and our friends do as well, and we meet up. It's great. We love it. Advent parade. Now, this is something that I'm sure they do in other countries, but it's not something that I've ever seen anywhere else. The first Sunday in Advent is a bit of an event here in Norway. Norway might be a secular country, and it's a place where, although the Norwegian church likes to say a lot of people go to church, they actually don't. Most people will go to church for christenings, in which case the church is full on that Sunday. That's a normal church service, but they'll probably have 4 or 5 christenings. And they will go for confirmations and weddings and funerals and whatever else. But on a regular Sunday, not very often, I have to say. But the celebration of that first Sunday in Advent is important. It unites communities with candle lighting, small parades and singing, and the lighting of the Christmas tree. In my little village, we gather together to sing in the centre of the village. Light enormous candles. They're about, I want to say a metre long, they're probably not that long, half a metre, 50 centimetres. And there's a lot of fire, I have to say, but they're real candles, this is not anything pretend. And then everybody walks up through the village, up the hill, to where the Christmas tree is, our village Christmas tree, which everybody can see from everywhere. And the Christmas tree is lit. It's gentle and it's understated, but it brings a moment of light and a moment of joy when it's really dark. It's lovely. Another tradition we love, before Christmas I hope, but I think it's going to be after, is the first snow and tobogganing. Even though every year usually sees a lot of snow in Norway, that first snow of the winter season is always really exciting. It's funny that, isn't it? By the time we get to the end of winter, we've had enough of it, I have to say. But that first snow is something we anticipate. If you're going to enjoy a long winter, you might as well try and enjoy it. I talk about that a lot. It doesn't matter, whether it's grey and muddy or you've got snow. I mean, even snow has its drawbacks, I have to say, because you have to clear it out of the way all the time. But you might as well anticipate it and look forward to it. And the day it snows, we get our toboggans out, we take a few flasks of hot chocolate and we head to the nearest hill to spend a little bit of time enjoying this new snow, especially if there's been a lot of it. It's usually full of squealing kids because they're having so much fun, aren't they? Being able to get their toboggans out. And then tobogganing mats. It's like a thin plastic mattress that's covered in heavy-duty, shiny plastic. And it's got a rope at the top. And they go incredibly fast. They also smooth out the toboggan runs. Whichever hill everybody has decided they're going to toboggan on, which makes it fast for everybody else as well. But we like the bowl panner as well, those tripod barbecues, which my village is lucky enough to have everywhere. We have them up near the sports club, we have them several down by the lake, and you just go along and you put some logs in it and you light it. And usually somebody else will come along and take over after you've gone. It's quite often it's lit all day. And it'll just have this kind of relay of people taking over, grilling their hot dogs. But it gives us a chance to warm our hands, have some hot chocolate, grill some hot dogs for the kids, and really have that feeling of coziness, but also enjoying the outside, which you need to do. And especially towards Christmas, because we do spend an awful lot of time inside. But it's a wonderful celebratory atmosphere, and it kind of brings you together as a community as well. So, what traditions do you and your family and friends have? Are they unique? Are they special? They probably are. Think about them and really appreciate them. Or maybe try and embrace some of these ones that I've talked about. It's really easy to do something like a gingerbread baking party, a little workshop. You don't even have to bake it yourself. You can buy it ready-made and just decorate it. These things are really fun. And I hope that you're enjoying your run up to Christmas. And I will see. If you've enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to the Living a Nordic Life newsletters so you can get an email when I release a new episode. It's a quick and easy way to keep up with all things Nordic living. Please visit livinganordiclife.com. You can listen to Living a Nordic Life on lots of podcast apps, including Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcasts, and plenty of others. If you've enjoyed the Living a Nordic Life podcast, why not leave me a rating? So that's the end of Living a Nordic Life for today, and I look forward to seeing you next time.